All right, guys, you're here because you're wondering why you're unprofitable, and I'm here to tell you exactly why. There's three main points that you need to know to why you're being unprofitable. I think number one, the main key fact is you're blowing accounts, right? Blowing accounts literally trickles down to you being greedy. And the reason why that is because you don't have enough trust in your system to be able to relieve that. Now, I think it's mainly setting TP, setting stop loss, having the right entry. All that falls back to your system, correct? Now, and another reason why I think you're blowing accounts is because you're rushing the process. Now, ultimately, the goal isn't to rush the process. Obviously, we want that end goal of having the luxury of living this type of lifestyle of where, like, you're flying, you're doing this, you're retiring your parents, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to rushing the process, I think the biggest key goal is to set goals, right? Now, ultimately, that sounds very broad. Now, for setting goals, I think the best thing you could do is set sub goals, right? Obviously, having that big vision board or that big goal that you have that you do every beginning of the year, end of the year, whatever the case may be. I think sub goals will be your biggest play that would help out in this situation. All right. Second biggest thing that I see why a lot of people are unprofitable is because of the fact that you're focused more on the outcome rather than on the journey itself. Now, when it comes to being focused on the outcome, the reason why I think a lot of people are doing that is because they're constantly watching or consuming a lot of lifestyle videos. And I think the biggest key that I take away from this is less consuming, more work, right? You're consuming lifestyles that you see on videos, YouTube videos, whether it's TikTok that you're scrolling or Instagram Reels, whatever the case may be. You're focused on a lot of lifestyle content. You see a lot of people showing their take profits hit or making this amount of money on trading, all that kind of stuff. But you need to slow that down, right? You need to limit yourself into how much lifestyle content you're consuming, whether you still want to watch that or not. Personally, what I did, I put a time limit on every app that I use so that way I'm not going over that quota of what I set for myself or that benchmark that I set for myself of just consuming that type of content. And I've talked about it with my mentor before where there's literally nothing in life that you need to rush because of the fact that like you don't know what other people like. You might see all this lifestyle content that you see on YouTube of people living this luxury lifestyle, but you don't know what that person's been through, right? You don't know whether it took them 2, 4, 8 years, 10 years to become profitable. You don't know that person's situation, whether at the end of the day they made it or not. You don't know that individual situation. So everyone has their own journey. Now that leads me to that last reason to why you're currently unprofitable. I think that trickles down to two last things, which is the first one is going to be psychology of trading, right? When it comes to psychology of trading, the main problem that I see with a lot of people is they think that it's easier than they thought or that it's going to take a lot shorter time than what people think. Yes, some people have different, I guess, time frames where they get into that profitability stage, but you can't be focused on what other people's journeys are. You have to need to focus on yours, right? Now, I think what when it comes down to psychology of trading, what you need to do is probably get yourself a mentor. That's like the main thing to start doing. Like personally, I've been with my mentor for quite some time now, and I've been able to see a lot of changes in my trading. Not only that, but also in what I do on a day-to-day basis, which leads me into my second topic, which is habits. Habits is another reason to why you're currently unprofitable. Like setting small habits such as day-to-day basis, such as like let's say doing your bed or making your hair or dressing up nice or cleaning yourself up, cleaning your room up, whatever the case may be. Those type of habits show in your trading. So, for example, if someone that is always constantly blowing accounts, not being super profitable in the markets, or just let's say being greedy, you'll see that that type of individual doesn't have his habits straight outside of the markets because everything trickles down into those habits that you see. But that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Make sure to give a like, subscribe, comment down if you need any other questions or help with anything. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to tune in. I'll be hopefully dropping one next week as well. Peace.